When I changed these 4 belief systems around money, my income skyrocketed. So whether you haven't made any money and you want to make money, or you're making a ton of money and you want to make more, these 4 beliefs apply to every single person on the planet. So the outcome is to make more money. So what do we need to do? Work harder or have more information and the right knowledge to get there? No, that's not always the case. You see those people, maybe this is you, where you're working really, really hard and you're not progressing and making more and more money. So it's not that you need more information. A lot of the times it's just the way that you're showing up in your belief systems around these 4 energies of money. So there's this constant conflicting loop. It's called a neural pathway loop that was inside of my brain that kept always happening, where yes, money can come easy for me, but I need to work hard. And so I need to work hard in order to get money. So then therefore I'll work longer hour days, which means I'm not always putting 100% into every single task that I do. Therefore, I'm taking on more tasks than I need to. I'm not finishing all of the tasks that I need to. So then I'm getting left behind. Then I need to work harder in order to go back to those tasks that I didn't get to finish. And it was this perpetual neurological pathway loop that was constantly going on inside my head, that I was constantly attracting these distractions. I was attracting it to be harder than it needed to be. So I want you to take a moment with your true belief system and asking yourself, what are the things that I'm saying inside of my head about attracting money? Is it easier? Is it harder? And then what are the things that I'm doing along the way to make it easier or harder? What are those triggers? When you find out what those triggers are, it becomes kind of eye-opening. Things kind of shift and change for you. So when I wrote down and shifted my beliefs around that, yes, I want money to come easier to me, but I want it to come easier to me without me having to work so hard. And so what I did was I ended up creating a business for coaches, consultants, e-com business owners to be able to generate more revenue for their business in a lot easier way, spending a lot less money and building trust. And I was able to build this business and do it successfully without having to spend so much time in the business. And if this sounds like something you're struggling with, you could click below. I have a free masterclass that shows you exactly how to grow and scale your business without you putting all the time and all the effort that you're doing it now, but actually grow your business more sustainably and more enjoyably. So that's energy number 1. Energy number 2 is sustainability. What is the belief system that you have around the money that's now coming into your bank account? Do you feel like, oh, I have to hoard this. I have to secure this and keep this very tight. I don't want to spend any of this. I want this to stay into my bank account. Or the money that comes in, do you want to expend it and spend it really quickly because you deserve it and you want really nice things, and you have to show that that energy that you brought in deserves also an example and a reflection of it going out. Meaning the input and the output have to be the exact same streams. I could bring it in easily, but it has to go out easily too. Right? So ask yourself, what is that energy? Because a lot of times sustainability on hoarding the money can be bad too, because it just sits in a bank account and loses money to inflation, right? So are you hoarding it and are you protecting it, or are you expending it too much and letting it go quickly? And maybe that belief system around letting it go quickly is that you don't feel like you deserve it. You don't feel like you deserve to keep that money. And here's a really great example of this. When I made my first $1 million, I had a mentor I talked to, and he said, whatever you do, don't spend a single dime for the next 6 months. Because one of my first questions is like, what do I spend this money on? I got to get rid of this. I want to go buy things. And he was like, don't spend a single dime for the next 6 months. Like, not a single dime. It was very difficult. It took me 4 months before I actually broke that rule. And the point of that was, he wanted to show me that I want you to get used to having that in your bank account. I want you to get used to having that and seeing that, so that way after a certain amount of time, when it starts depleting, you get nervous or you go, wait, that's not what I'm used to. Why is this getting less than what I'm used to? And it kind of tricks you in your mind in a little way to be more disciplined about money. So the belief system around sustaining money, what is that for you? And if you look at your life and you're saying, yeah, I'm not sustaining it the way I need to, I want you to find out what you're telling yourself and what that belief system is. And I want you to rewrite that belief system so that it more pertains to what's making optimal for your life, sustaining more of that money. The third energy around money is allocation. How are you allocating the money that you get? So let's say you get in $100,000. Are you spending the $100,000 quickly, whether that's operating your business or you're spending it just because of some luxuries that you want to be going on trips and doing things? Like how are you allocating your money? What is your energy around allocation? Okay. Is it, I need to be strict and disciplined? Is that the belief system? How is my belief system supporting the input of money, right? Are they complete opposites? A lot of times what I see is when your belief system around money is really easy, it's really easy for me to attract money. I see a lot of the same people that it's really easy for them to allocate it. So what I tend to think is the best option in this case is them for the allocation, for the attraction and the allocation to be opposites. So it's really easy for me to sustain it, but allocating it, I want to be fine-tooth, really specific on how I'm allocating this. I want to be more conservative. I want to be very mindful and disciplined. And I want to have the most important thing, systems around my allocation. What kind of systems do you have around allocation? Do you have somebody helping you be accountable for your allocation of spending money? So I want you to ask yourself, what is my energy and belief system around allocation? So maybe you're good with energy of attraction, of sustainability, and even allocation. I rarely see a lot of people do all three of those really, really well, unless they've learned some hard, painful mistakes along the way. But the fourth one to me is actually the most important one, and that is prosperity. What is your energy around prosperity? How are you taking the current money that you do make and making that money make you more money? Most of the time I see people that are really good at making money, decent at sustaining it, decent at allocating it, but they're not even sure how to have their money make more money. It either sits in a bank account or they're not actually developing wealth principles for their money to make money for them. Basically, it's like a little sidekick personal assistant on the side that's making you more money without you having to do anything. You're making your money go to work for you. And so what is your energy around prosperity, around building wealth? Do you think to yourself around wealth and prosperity that it needs to be hard, or I just don't know what to do, or that's for people who make way more money than me? What is that belief system there? Because I promise you don't need to make a ton of money to start building prosperity and wealth. The number one system that I created around prosperity and building wealth was long-term goal thinking. Meaning, if I have X amount of profit that comes into my business and my life that year, before the year even starts, I know that I want to preserve a certain percentage, 20% of my profits going towards wealth building. And what's amazing about this system is that I know what my financial future looks like 10 years from now. Why? Because the typical rate of return that I get for these assets is the same average that it's going to be for the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, if all goes well. And I know exactly how much money and percentage of my profits that I'm putting into it every single year. So I know where my wealth and my prosperity is going to be 1 year from now, 5, 10, 20. And it's so cool to have like a little crystal ball looking into my future going, if everything goes right and I have this exact system playing out the way that it is now, I know what my future is going to look like. This is amazing. Now, obviously it's not guaranteed. Things can go wrong. But what it does is it actually builds in a certain protection of energy around this whole system, around all four energies of money. It brings it all together. So now that I know like what my future is going to look like, I have a different belief system and I show up differently the way I'm actually attracting money. I show up differently than the way that I'm sustaining it. I show up differently than the way I'm allocating, all because of that fourth system around energy that really brings it all home. So whether you're not making a lot of money now and you want to more in the future, or you're making a ton of money and you want to make more, I want you to evaluate these belief systems, write them down, figure out what your neurological pathway loop is that's either hindering one or all of those energies of money, and I want you to rewrite them. And if it sounds like you and you're struggling with this at all, and you want to build a better business or build a vehicle to make more money into your life, you can simply book a call with me down below. We'll evaluate where you're at with your life or your business right now, find the exact way to simply scale it and build that for you in a sustainable and easy way. And lastly, don't be afraid to reassess where your belief systems are at with each of these energies of money. So maybe you start making more money and like something comes into the way and distracts you and may shifts your belief system, and it could be sabotaging one of the other energies of money. So don't be afraid to every so often, every quarter, every year, every half year, or whatever, kind of go back into your notes, into your journal, where you're at with your energy or your money and what got you there, what helped you improve, and what has shifted and changed. It's a really great, simple exercise for you to do so that way that you are prospering and making tons of money. So if you like this, go ahead and like and subscribe, where I help other business owners scale their business with ease with systems, and I'll see you on the next video.